These are samples that we've run for nutrient analyses. We have other samples that we've run.
Dr. Reed Corbett believes the answers to many questions about the future health of the oceans can be found in his freezer.
One of the important things is understanding the chemistry of the water that we collect. And so we bring back all kinds of water samples that we then
What makes the water samples so important is where they were collected. It was a world away from the sawgrass and the wetlands surrounding Corbett's lab at the University of North Carolina's Coastal Studies Institute in Wanges. It was a world away because the samples were collected at the bottom of the world, off the coast of Antarctica.
The really interesting things about the Antarctic, and in particular the western Antarctic Peninsula where our work is going on, is that it's changing faster than most places on Earth. Right? It's one of the fastest warming areas on this planet. And so the changes that are occurring rapidly from a climate perspective, from a biological perspective, and from a chemical perspective.
Corbett is leading a team studying the effects of water from melting glaciers on the coastal oceans.
It's an area of the continent and of the world that's sort of warming quickly, and so the glaciers there are melting very quickly, and they're providing a lot of fresh water to the coastal ocean. And as that fresh water runs off the continent or runs through the continent, it's picking up various chemical constituents. And so that's sort of the question we're asking. Is this water, as it melts and runs over the continent and runs through the continent, is it picking up iron? And could that iron be used to fuel primary production in the coastal ocean and maybe even in the Southern Ocean?
Here is the rosette, which holds the bottles, what are called Niskin bottles, which we use for sampling water.
So after the Niskin bottle rosette comes back on board, all the seawater is transferred into these aquaria. And these are just containers. We're only using them to hold that seawater sample. And then we can drip it through one of these cartridges. And inside the cartridge, we'll stuff this acrylic fiber that's coated with potassium permanganate. And a chemical reaction occurs inside there that will strip the radium out of the seawater and make it stick to these fibers. Then we can send the fibers inside to the lab, and they can put them on those radium counters and count how much radium is in the seawater in there.
It turns out that iron is an important nutrient in the Southern Ocean. The more iron in the water, the more tiny organisms like phytoplankton that form the base of the food chain are produced. That sounds like a good thing, but it is changing nature's balance.
The amount of primary production that takes place in the Southern Ocean is greater than many places across this planet. And it does fuel much of the secondary, tertiary production across this planet.
Corbett and his team work out of Palmer Station. It's one of 3 bases the U.S. government operates in Antarctica. The research is being conducted during the Antarctic summer. The weather conditions at the bottom of the world are similar to a normal winter in North Carolina. And the effects of melting glaciers on the Tar Heel State are ultimately what the research is about.
So what's happening in the Antarctic very much influences what's happening off the coast of North Carolina.
Corbett and his colleagues hope to quantify how much fresh water is flowing into the ocean and the amount of iron and other chemicals the water is carrying. Scientists believe the exchange of groundwater between land and ocean will significantly increase the amount of iron found in the waters close to shore and in the deeper ocean.
And that's a real concern is, as we change the density by increasing freshwater delivery to the ocean, can that have an influence on sort of the physics of the ocean currents like the Gulf Stream and other large currents in the ocean, which then would influence the biology of the ocean. Because it's this large-scale ocean circulation that does drive the biology, that drives the chemistry.
And because all of the natural systems on the globe are interconnected, that will change everything. Nobody knows whether that change is good or bad.
It's hard to put those two things together. But the fact is, because what's happening off the coast of the Antarctic influences primary production in the Southern Ocean. And the Southern Ocean influences the biology across the global ocean.